Hey everybody. What's happening? Good morning. Anybody want to read our quotes? I usually go first row. Should go back row. Oh, there we go. We got a volunteer. Tell us your name too.
My name is Eddie.
All right. Here you go, Mike.
We don't rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our dreams.
Right. Good work. We got a couple of younger agents in here today, so you'll be introduced soon. Thank you. Well done. So we don't rise to the level of our expectations. We follow the level of our training. I heard this about a year ago, and it hit me because it reminded me how important it is to practice what we do on a daily, weekly basis. I think a lot of times we get stuck in the habit of practicing on our clients, which they probably don't appreciate as much. I don't think when you go to the doctor, they do that, and I don't think when you go to the dentist, let's hope they don't do that. So we shouldn't do it either. So anyway, think about that when we're going over these things. You can learn about stuff like this, but if you don't practice it, it doesn't stick. What are you grateful for today? Sunshine. I'm grateful that my phone needs to turn off. So I was grateful this weekend. If any of you are Facebook friends with me, you may have seen my. I went on Amazon and I got this little remote control race car, and then it broke, and they sent me another one. And I had a good time with my kid, and we built a jump, and we're launching it about what felt like about 15 feet in the air. But giving a 2-year-old the controls of a race car, I realized was not smart because he almost took my face off while I was trying to set the jump. But anyway, it was fun. Anybody else?
Spring breaks next week.
Spring break next week. Who's going somewhere for spring break? Who's selling a house over spring break? All right. Good deal. Very good. Okay. I know I've had more and more of y'all coming up to me saying you've read this book, or you're reading this book, so never split the difference. Last time we learned about listening, that engaging with a mindset of discovery, and that most people approach negotiation so preoccupied by the arguments that support their position that they are unable to listen attentively. But the listening is what is key, making it about the other people, validating their emotions, and creating enough trust and safety for a real conversation to begin. The passage of time is one of the most important tools for a negotiator. When you slow the process down, you also calm it down. Negotiating strategy or approach, people tend to focus all their energies on what to say or do, but it's oftentimes how we are, our general demeanor and delivery, that is both the easiest thing to enact and the most immediately effective mode of influence. Your most powerful tool in any verbal communication is your voice. No, this doesn't say your email font. So what did we talk about? We talked about the assertive voice. I need you to do this for me right now. I kind of sound like a jerk. Or there's the positive, playful voice, which is what is most of the time like, hey, just wanted to let you know, got an offer for you. It's not quite list price, but here are the terms, and I'm sure we'll work something out. And then there's the late night FM DJ voice, right? The downward inflection of confidence, letting the other side know that you've got it covered. Much better with a microphone. But so there's some more stuff that talks about mirroring. This is an interesting piece. You hear a lot about this in just kind of general sales. What do you learn about in general sales about mirroring? What have you learned over the years?
Match the others.
Going to match the other person's demeanor. Do you ever find yourself if somebody else is kind of doing this, you're doing that? It's usually, if you're sitting at a table, I see it a lot. If somebody's kicked back, then I'll usually kick back on the other side of the table. You all do that? If they're leaning forward, you usually lean forward. Whether you do it consciously or not, it's an animalistic behavior. Humans and animals oftentimes copy each other to comfort each other. It's a way to just relate with somebody. You can see it work the opposite way too. You can see very dominant people. There's a TED Talk, and I'm drawing a blank on her name. Have you all seen the TED Talk? It's the lady that talks about the Wonder Woman pose. Power poses, right. So fascinating TED Talk if you want to learn more about mirroring or lack thereof. But this is talking simply about words and about simply in negotiation repeating the last critical 1 to 3 words that someone else has said. I think I just did it for you. What did you just say? I don't even.
You're matching their disposition.
You're matching the disposition, right?
Yeah.
So it's repeating back what people say. You trigger a mirroring instinct. Your counterpart will inevitably elaborate on what was just said and sustain the process of connecting. So there are a few examples in the book. One was about a young woman and her boss. He wanted her to make 2 copies of some giant report. And she would always get frustrated because he asked her this every time, and she didn't understand why, and she didn't think he really had a reason. He just wanted to do it because it was busy work. And so she started this mirroring process, and he said, all right, can you make 2 copies? And she said, 2 copies? And he'd say, yeah, 2 copies, one for this and one for that. And she said, okay, so one for this and then another one for that? And he'd say, one for that because we need it for whatever. And every time she did that, and again, it feels really awkward the first few times you do it. I've been trying it. It feels awkward, but what happened was he began to elaborate a little bit more until finally they got into a discussion of what he was asking for was probably not really that relevant. And she'd come out and said, why do you want me to make 2 copies? Puts her in a little bit of a weird situation, maybe. So I think from a negotiating standpoint, if you're actually mirroring, you're opening up that dialogue and questioning their maybe their reason for something without actually being a little bit forward and maybe rude and actually questioning them. Has anybody tried this before?
Not yet.
Not yet? Who wants to try it this week? It will be awkward the first time you do it. I promise. This week. This week. Yeah, this week. So before Friday. Before the end of the week. Thanks, Doug. All right. You know what? I'm going to give Doug a copy of this book. Because he just did that to me. Good work, Doug. I have more copies, so I'll give one away each week. So the intent behind most mirrors should just be, please help me understand, right? You're not trying to be obnoxious, you're not trying to mock them, you're trying to just clarify. Every time you mirror someone, they'll often reword what they just said, and then again, it'll make you feel awkward, but just try it. Work through the awkwardness, and maybe try it on a friend or somebody that is unsuspecting, but they won't kill the deal on you. All right, continuing ed. We've got a lot of stuff happening, so this week, we've got Teddy Pins. Is he here, Ted? He's prepping for the talk. A talk about repping builders and buyers. Let's see, this is, he sent some notes here. The process prior and after the new construction contract is bound is a very different process than a residential resale closing. Who would agree with that? All right. Ted's going to walk you through those nuances, prepare you for ways to keep your client calm, maybe by mirroring, and knowledgeable about things like change orders, punch lists, and walkthroughs. Expectations are always met when they're understood. At the end of the class, you'll be able to set realistic client expectations, thus avoiding stress, frustration, and ill feelings at closing. And then Thursday, so this is New Construction Month, by the way. Thursday, Bobby is teaching a VLab on walkthroughs and the new construction process. And then they'll do one again next Tuesday, another VTalk down here on new construction contracts and upgrades. So, is anybody planning on coming today? New construction should be great. Well, this is what we do with so much, and it is very different. I probably get more questions about tricky situations with new construction contracts because the contract, is it the same contract? No, different. And then how often do you have the TAR new construction contract or else the builder's contract? Yeah, maybe half and half. So there's a lot of different contracts, and so you got to read those. Read the new construction contract. Anybody, just quick quiz, anybody know what one difference between the new construction contract and the resale contract is? Inspections. What's different about inspections?
The way they have it set up is kind of either or.
An either or, right? So it's an either or. There's like, an inspection or a blue tape walkthrough.
They're not going to happen 10 days or 5 days.
Right? So if it's only in framing stages, maybe it's not time for an inspection. So pay attention to that stuff. as well. General announcements, Bristol Creek Run coming up, Ninja installation. I've had a few more people say they've signed up for this. Anybody else? Announcements? One more announcement that I forgot. We've got the WeHo office brunch, Wedgwood, Houston on Friday from 10 to 12. So that'll be good. And orientation is next Tuesday, or next Thursday. So if you've been here for a couple months and you've not gone through orientation, please make sure you do that. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You're going to learn a ton, and it's important to go through. And then we've got some another VMint training on the 28th, and then we have I think I mentioned that already, contracts for warranties and warranties for new construction. All right, rates have finally ticked up just a teeny bit. We've gone from about 4.38 to 4.41. So we've been on this little downward fall for a while, but we just ticked up just a tiny bit. So just below 4.5%, 4.41% for 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Oddly enough, the 15 years still slightly lower than the 5.1, which is bizarre, but that's good. How's the market? What are y'all seeing? Who's had a listing appointment or met with a buyer in the last week? Nice. That's half the room. That's incredible. So the rest of the half, you can do it. You still have 7 more days, or 4 more days, 3 more days, right? We'll go through Sunday. 5 more days. Plenty of time to meet with a buyer. What's that? Yeah. So the stats, we're going to get these. I just put these in not a very pretty format because these just came out late last night, and so we'll have these, if not today, then tomorrow, for y'all to post on social media. But Williamson County closings, February 19 versus February 18. This is the average sold price, $580,000 versus $542. That's a 7% improvement. February over February. Still 98% list price to sell price ratio. Days in the market, a little bit longer. It's a little bit more expensive, a little bit longer in the market in Williamson County. New listings were up, so inventory is up just a little bit. Total properties for sale, new listings are up. So there's more coming on the market, and then there's more just on the market generally. And sales are down just a hair. So what does all that mean for Williamson County? What's that? Life is good. Life is good in Williamson County. So you've got a 7% appreciation year over year. That's actually not too bad. That's fairly in line. But inventory is up about, new listings up almost 8%, and total inventory up just over 8%. So that means more choices, right? More choices are good for your buyers. So you got buyers, tell them about that. Davidson County, price points, February over February, only up 1.5%. So that's probably good news as well. That's healthy. Total properties for sale, inventory up 12.5%. That's a big number. Days in the market, about 2 months. 63 days in the market for February, about 12.5%. Total properties sold, only 2.5% change. This is single family condo. This is the residential section. Any thoughts on that? All right. Is Steve here? Steve Rush here? Steve's space is in the spotlight. Got picked. This is, if some of y'all have been here, this is the cool house on 27th Avenue. So don't forget, where do we go to submit that?
There's a link.
There's a link?
There's not a fun website name for this.
There's not a fun website name. But pretty cool bathrooms there. So there's a downstairs patio in the yard and then an upstairs rooftop deck. Pretty cool. All right, tip of the week. Who uses net sheets? Who doesn't by hand? Does anybody use an Excel sheet of any variety? All right, so some people use an Excel sheet. I've always used an Excel sheet. This actually came from somebody at Village many years ago, and I've edited it over time. But we sent this out yesterday in an email, tip of the week. We'll send it out again today. But if you are meeting with a seller, I use this a lot. So it's just an easy way, especially with either multiple offer situations or just to kind of compare if you're showing a range. Hey, we think your house is worth somewhere between 370 and 400. You know, a lot of times we talk about ranges. It gives them all the numbers that they can look at in one quick glance. And so if you zoom into this, basically all it has is you just type in whatever the taxes are. You can find those on the MLS sheet or the tax record. You type in Joe and Susie Seller. Closing date, put in the closing date. It automatically calculates that there are 181 days a year, I guess, I think, of the year that's there. And so it'll calculate the taxes that are owed by the seller because they pay for the time that they're there, or they pay for the time that the buyer's there. They're there, right? So owner's title policy, this is just an estimate. If you want to double check this is a formula. This is about 0.5% plus 100, I think, is the formula. So it's not exact, but it'll be close enough. Estimated attorney's fees, about $525. Property tax proration, so it takes that total amount out there and then automatically calculates it based on whatever you put the closing date as. Inspection repairs, you can just manually put this in. Basically, anything in blue, you can manually put in. And then if you want to put closing costs in, you can do, $3,000, $5,000 if you get an actual offer. Especially if you get multiple offers, this is helpful just to do side-by-side comparison. And then down here, that doesn't calculate anything, but it just gives you some notes, a little section for notes. So again, if this is helpful, send it out, just a simple Excel sheet, and hopefully it'll give you some added clarity for your sellers. But it's really important, I think, to talk about, one, upfront, all the costs that are associated with everything. Two, what we charge. I've had situations where people will kind of avoid that conversation or assume that it's just expected, but be very clear about that. Who's tried these emails yet? One person? 2 people? So one of the frustrations we've gotten is with Tribus is if you send an email out through Tribus and you want to reply to that person, then you have to reply and it doesn't go to the person, it goes to a help email. And it goes up into Oblivion, and then you have to manually either log into Tribus or look up the person's email, which just takes a few extra minutes. So we created these for each office. Please be respectful with them. We want to use them for broker open houses or announcements, but not for public Sunday open houses. You can use them for coming soon listings, but please don't use them for price reductions or existing listings. Outstanding vendor suggestions. If you've got an incredible vendor that you've heard people asking about before. But if you've seen a vendor that's been answered 7 times already, don't reply all. Or don't send it out. Open house coverage is great, but buyer needs, just do your homework first. Don't just blanket something before actually looking at the MLS to see if there's 7 properties that are available just like that. Hunter, what do you got?
Hey everybody. So, what we've been working on? So, familiar stuff, better marketing, more brand consistency, stronger communication, and keeping an eye on agent costs. So, we've got, reminder, the broker hotline is open and available. It's a great idea from Teddy Pins. So, if you can't find a broker at your office, you need to get a question answered, email that, and someone will get back to you promptly. We talked last week about splitting commission checks as a way taxes, just general savings, could be to set up separate accounts. And when you get a commission, split it up. Some to your business account, your spending account, some to your tax account, maybe some to a savings account. So we now have that in these forms. If you want to grab one, we've got about 50 or so up front here, but you can also email Ashley Brown and she can send it to you. You can set this up. There's also a possibility, I don't necessarily encourage this, but if you're the type of person that's like, hey, I don't even want the money in my account yet because I'm afraid I'll spend it, I want you to hold it for a little while. We can hold it earmarked for you. It'll be in a separate account. It won't be commingled with operating funds for the company. So we'll do that, but I'm not encouraging you to do that unless you really want to and you know yourself well. So that's an option just to try and help you. Don't have to do it. Also, remember, order your signs. So we've got a subsidized sign process going on. First of all, you want to trade in 3, you get them free, and then $25 for a sign and a rider. That's through the end of this month. So go ahead and get those in now. After that, I believe it bumps up to $39, $37, something like that, if you have a minimum order of 3 through fast signs. They've been coming in. They look great out in the wild. They're making them as fast as they can. We're getting shipments every other day, like 40 and 50 at a time. We're just covering them up at fast signs. So be patient. But if you have any questions, Ashley is our go-to on the signs. All right, Village Fund. So just to give you a quick update, we've been talking about that. If you hadn't had a chance, and a lot of you have, so thank you, but if you hadn't had a chance to designate where you want your funds to go, what charity really you're passionate about, you can set that up. Ashley can help you with that. Susan Turner can also help you with that. And a lot of you guys have done that, and we've had a great month. We've been able to give $1,000 to the Nashville Tree Foundation. Trees are important. They provide like oxygen for us to breathe, so they're very necessary. Right, Chris? Yeah. And then Habitat for Humanity, another $1,000 from the Village Fund. $1,000 is Safe Haven, which is a homeless shelter here in Nashville. And then $2,500 to Thistle Farms. So thank you. That is awesome. Village Fund is really important to what makes Village special and different than a lot of other firms here in Nashville. Speaking of Village Fund, we have 3 guests here today from Preston Taylor Ministries. So they're here for spring break in the marketplace. It's their spring break, and so they're coming. They're going to shadow some of us and just kind of get a sense of what being a realtor and working at a real estate firm is all about. So we've got Chris. You want to come up here? Come on.
Hi.
Chris, how old are you?
11.
What grade are you in?
5th.
5th grade, 11 years old. Where do you go to school?
Nashville Prep.
Nashville Prep. Well, welcome, Chris. We're really glad you're here. And do you have any questions for me? What about Zach? You like Zach? No. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. All right. You can sit down. Thank you. Well, we got Kingston. Kingston. What's up, man? How old are you?
11.
He's also 11. But, Kingston, what grade again?
6.
6th grade. And Kingston. What else do I have? You got any brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
How many? What you got?
3.
3. Do you like them?
Yeah.
Older or younger?
Both.
Both. Middle child. I'm a middle child too. Thank you for being here. Aaron, come on. Aaron and Brianna are close today. Did an awesome job with that. Eric, how old are you?
13.
13. Also Nashville Prep, what grade?
7.
7th. What brothers, sisters?
One sister.
One sister, younger? Older sister? You bug her? Good job. You're supposed to do that. So Preston Taylor is all about mentorship and after-school programs. They were started about 20 years ago around the Preston Taylor Public Housing Projects, just about 10 minutes from here, and dealing with issues that kids have when they grow up under the poverty line and with gang and teenage pregnancies. And they tackle all that through mentorship and after-school programs. It is an awesome program. Go to PrestonTaylorMinistries.com if you want to learn more about it. We're really glad you guys are here today, and hope you have fun learning about real estate. So, got some other updates. Kenya, out front, is she has a graphic design background and is leaving us at the end of the week to kind of pursue that. It was
What?
Yes. That is sad. So it was totally something she came to us a couple of weeks about, and so we hate to lose her, but that's happening. So we're wanting to fill that position. And we're looking for a great fit. It's really important, that upfront role with Rachel and her, and so we're in the process of that. You will be seeing, while we have a transition period between finding that great person and now, we'll have different people helping Rachel cover. She'll see familiar faces up there helping out. We will not drop the ball. Office is going to stay looking good. You may have noticed we got into the finances. We realized we're paying $500 a month for the dishwasher there. I'm a man of humble background. I do not like paying $500 a month for a dishwasher. So we returned the dishwasher, and we're going to get a normal dishwasher. Fits the space. It doesn't come out. Thank you. It's going to be great. It's going to be installed tomorrow. So we'll still have a dishwasher. We also have 2 other dishwashers up here. So there's plenty of dishwashers in this office. Probably too many.
Are we going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony?
Ribbon cutting for the dishwasher. You may want to do that. Barbara, question?
Yeah. What maintenance?
Yeah, there was like this lease maintenance program. I couldn't figure out. I thought I was canceling just the maintenance part, and the next thing I know, they hauled it off. Yeah. So while we're talking dishes, this is important stuff. Sales meeting. So Kimmy and Rachel spend an inordinate amount of their time cleaning up after us and doing our dishes, which, I mean, keeping the office clean is important, and that's great. They love doing it, but it is like a third of their time probably just doing dishes. And no one loves doing dishes, right? Like, and they're really hard to keep looking good. Like, you get water spots, lipstick stains. Like, you hand them to a client, it's not the mug's not always looking great. So we are going to move towards doing away with the dish process. We're going to encourage everyone to bring your own mug, but then we're also, for clients, and if you forget your mug or whatever, we're going to have recycled content cups that you can use. It'll be nice, professional. If a client comes, won't have a lipstick stain on it or a watermark, and it should just feel more professional, and literally it'll save so much time and energy, and Rachel and them can focus on keeping the office more vibrant, being more welcoming. They're not going to be back doing our dishes all the time. So we're going to try that out. We're also going to have new recycled containers that are going up front that will have places for glass, plastic, and paper, so we can kind of upgrade our recycling program. But just kind of clean up the office. Yay. Good. I hope everybody's excited about that. So, finally, I'm off my track here. Dishwasher update. Okay, social media and Boost. We got some really exciting news to share on the marketing front. We have signed a 1-year contract with Boost, which is a social media ad service. Zach and I got familiar with them at Inman, the Inman conference about a month ago or 2 months ago. It's a big commitment on our end as a company, but I want to show you a little bit about it, just so you can see what's coming very soon. So we signed the contract, and it's going to take about 4 to 6 weeks to roll out. But in the meantime, we can start doing some training around it and getting up to speed on what it is.
Boost is a service that automates your online digital marketing and creates beautiful ads that will be seen on Facebook and on Instagram and across the web on thousands of sites. With Boost, all the heavy lifting is done for you, so you can focus on your clients rather than managing ad campaigns yourself. So how does Boost work? Well, whenever a new listing hits the market, Boost is notified. We'll automatically start to gather all the information about your listing that we need to create an ad. This includes a headline, description, photos of your listing, and even your name and picture. But the ad design and creation is just the first step. We also make sure we show these ads to the right people, and we build the perfect audience individually tailored for each one of your listings, making sure that thousands of potential buyers see your ad. When someone clicks on your ad, they'll be brought to a custom landing page created by Boost about your listing. This page includes your contact information, more information about your listing, and even includes our gated feature that helps generate leads from interested buyers. You'll start receiving emails from Boost anytime that you have an eligible listing that will be auto-promoted by Boost. No need to reach out and tell us, we've got you covered, and we go to work to start creating your ad the same day that you list it. When you receive this email from us, just as the email says, you don't have to do a thing but sit back and relax and wait for your leads to start coming your way. But we always encourage you to visit the post on social media, where you can like, share, and follow along with everything. We'll even include a link to it right in the email that you receive from us. Boost also gives you full editorial control. So if you'd like to make any edits to your ad, you can do so right from this email now, or anytime while your ad is running from this email or from your Boost dashboard. Soon your ad will begin running and potential buyers will begin to see this ad online. The great thing about Boost is that we'll also email you real time anytime someone interacts with your ad or when someone requests more information from your landing page, like more photos or directions. You can also add your seller's information with Boost, and we'll make sure they see the ad for their home online. This not only makes you stand out as a great agent, but the seller can also share and comment and follow along with the ad if they choose. When your ad finishes running, you'll also receive an email from Boost with your ad results, including views, clicks, and engagement. Now let's check out the Boost dashboard, where you can sign in to review and manage your ads, access results, and even purchase additional ads that Boost has to offer. Because your brokerage uses Boost, you'll also receive discounts. You can access our help center anytime for instant answers, or connect with our support team by chat while inside your dashboard. We're always here to help.
All right. So it's pretty cool. So it happens automatically anytime you put a listing in MLS. It just grabs it. It'll shoot you an email saying, hey, this is about to go live in 24 hours. And then the company is paying for like 5 days of Facebook and other social media ads through them. And what they do so well that is really hard to do on your own is they have all the analytics to know if you've got a $950,000 listing in Hillsborough Village, they're not going to send it to a recent college grad that doesn't have a job, in another city. So they do all of the analytics to make sure the ads are targeted to someone that is a potential buyer for that listing. So it happens automatically. I thought it was cool that you can put your seller's information in so they can see what you're doing on their behalf. So I think this is a really key way for Village to come alongside what you guys are doing and kind of amplify your business a little bit. We're really excited to roll it out. It's really expensive for the company, so we're going to track it, see how you like it. We're signed up for a year to do it, so we'd love to get your feedback as you use it to make sure that's a wise investment of the company's resources. So that's going to be coming soon. We just wanted to get a taste of it. They're starting the rollout process this week, so we'll keep you posted.
So just one more thing on that, and y'all, this is a really, really awesome platform, and it is not cheap, but thanks to the Megatron being gone, that was a little hard with a little piece of it. But so one cool thing about this that I know Hunter touched on, but I'll say it again, is this gives you exposure on your listings, and it also has very interactive lead capture technology. And so you will actually start getting emails from your leads. So the way it works is if somebody sees a social media ad, it'll say Village Real Estate, it'll say sponsored, and then your listing will be on there. Again, it happens automatically. You can change it if you want. You'll get an email saying, hey, we just saw you posted a new listing. You've got X amount of time to make edits. If not, we're going with it. We're running with it. Once you do that, you can input your seller's information. If Facebook or Instagram recognize an email and or cell number associated with your seller and with one of those accounts, it will automatically push it out to their feed.
Wow.
Right?
Wait, say that again.
So the technology is that if it talks about your seller seeing that, and so if the way it works is that when you can make, you don't have to do this, but if you want to, so we're marketing for you on your behalf. But if you want to update and add your seller's information, you can, just as an added bonus, and it will make sure that they see their own house on their social media feed if they happen to do it during that week. Pretty cool, right? Because everybody likes seeing their own place. They're like, oh, that's my house. But what's neat about it is when somebody, a random person, and not totally random, because they have a lot of algorithms that will target based on geography and demographics, who would likely be interested in that home based on price, size, etc. Then it will target someone, and they will say, "Oh wow, that's a cool listing." They'll click on it, and it'll let them click 1, 2, boom, and then it'll say, "Hey, you want to see more photos? Unlock them with Facebook." You're already in Facebook. It clicks unlock, and then bingo, guess who gets their email? All of you. So you will get an email immediately with their email address. You can add them in your database. You can just reply to them and say, "Hey, I noticed you were curious about the listing at 123 Main Street. Please let me know if you have any further questions. Be happy to show it to you or help in any way." How cool is that? That's really, really awesome. I did not know this technology existed. So we basically, what did he say? 4 weeks? 4 to 6 weeks? So 4 to 6 weeks. We have to basically link it to our Facebook and Instagram profiles. About 85% of their ads are done on social media, and then some of it is done through, what's it called, display ads, like Google display ads. So if you're on NewYorkTimes.com, whatever, CNN.com, any of those, anything like that, you'll see certain ads over on the right side, and they'll say ads by Google or something like that. So your stuff will show up there as well. Emily?
Yeah, so I'm sorry if I missed this, but do we need an account with Boost, or is it going to pick up from the MLS that we're with Village and we do it?
We prefer letting you be out selling and then we'll handle marketing for you. So we're just going to do it for you.
Yeah.
So it is not cheap. It is expensive. There's a lot of money. Who's done social media marketing themselves, just like boosting stuff themselves, right? So this doesn't replace that. You can still do that. I mean, you can replace it if you want, but there's a lot of money going out to each and every ad. But we think it's going to do a couple things. We think it's going to drive a lot more leads to you, which then makes you sell more houses, which then helps you be more successful at Village and ultimately helps everybody. And then we also think it's going to create a lot more exposure for Village in terms of a brand, right? When people start seeing, if you think of every listing that you have going out, it's over $200,000 on Facebook, on social media, just all the time, bam, 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 bam. Everywhere people look, they're going to start seeing it. That's huge. And people are just going to say, "Oh my God, Village is everywhere. I need to talk to a Village agent." And then hopefully you'll get more calls that way.
If it's working for you, you can add on.
Yeah, if it's working, if you want to boost, let's say you're having an open house, you can go through all the steps of, doing your own Facebook ad, but this is literally like 30 or 60 seconds. You log into your dashboard, you click, "I want an open house ad," and it'll like 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, or 30 days, or whatever, and it'll just do it for you. What's up?
Quick question. So in 4 weeks it goes live. Will it grab all the listings by Village currently in the system, or it's only new listings?
Probably only new listings. I mean, we're going to have to draw the line somewhere in terms of just launching it. So I think what we'll do is just start it, and then any new listings. But we're in the spring market, so there's a lot of new listings coming up, and we'll start doing it that way.
There's also the listing has to be above 200,000, and then it's not for big project listings. So it wouldn't have 50 unit kind of thing. All 50 wouldn't be in there. So I think those are the other 2 restrictions on it.
Any other questions? What's up?
Not that I'm trying to game the system, but what if you have a listing and then you take it down and put it back?
Yeah, so if you take it down and put it back, then it would trigger it. If it gets to be a point where obviously we're going to see invoices for everybody, and if somebody's like running up $1,000 bill, then that's like 2 months of the Megatron, and so we might have to get the Megatron back. I don't know.
Be a team player.
Be a team player. But yeah, I mean the goal is we want to make sure that. But you can tell your sellers we're going to give you marketing materials on this stuff. You can tell your sellers, hey, here's something that we do social media marketing, and we use analytics based on the demographics of people that we think would likely buy your house. There are a few services that do this. There's another one I'm drawing a blank. Brian, what was it called? Brian Stoltz, you don't remember. There's another one, AdWorks. It's called AdWorks. It does this, but it doesn't do the leads. It doesn't give you. It's just simply exposure. It's not actually trying to generate business for you. And so this does, and we just felt like that was better. So that's it. All right. Glad you're all excited about that. Coming soon. Who's got it coming soon?
Start with Doug. Doug?
Sorry, I'll be quick. This is the same one as last week, but we're really going on next week. It's over in Charlotte Park, 659 Westboro. It is like 2,800 square feet, and for that neighborhood, it's huge. It's got a 2-car garage. It's been rehab, brand new kitchen, paint. There's a big deck out the back, about 400 square feet. It does have a saltwater above ground pool, and it's looking great. So we're going to be getting pictures actually this afternoon, and if anybody wants to get in, just let me know. We're going live next week. Thanks. 5 and 4.
Doug does such a good job selling his listing even right now. Telling all about it, not just giving you the square footage and the details we can all get off this sheet. Next. Zach's family, so cute. Is Megan Manley not here? Megan, you here? Alright. She's got 4-2 in Hendersonville for $250,000. Mary Carolyn Roberts. Mary Carolyn's not here. She's got a $425,000 Sylvan Park on a dead-end street. Scott Evans. What you got, Scott?
I've got a 12 South coming soon, 845 Glen Avenue, really awesome Victorian house. It's a 3-2, it's a little over 2,000 square feet. I think we actually got an offer on it, so it might be not coming soon anymore. But, it's still there, so keep in mind.
Awesome. Callie Hughes. Is Callie here?
Here.
Hey, Callie.
I have this beautiful ranch coming in the Hillwood area. It is 4 beds, 4.5 baths, 4,500 square feet. It's recently renovated in fresh paint. I think we're going to try to go live within the next 2 weeks, but if you have anyone, let me know. We'll be listing it around 1.19.
Awesome. Thanks, Callie. Tony. Airbnb.
Yeah, I've got a resale Airbnb. It's in a commercial zone, not owner occupied. It's currently renting on Airbnb for about $9,000 a month. My people have a bunch of investments here, and they just want to get out of one of them and get a new lake house. So we're going to sell that one. You can buy it empty at $614. Then we'll give it to you full turnkey with everything, pots and pans, dishes, and the whole nine, already done and ready to go for $640.
Drew. Drew, you here? Yeah, Drew.
Alright, I have a cute coming soon in the Cleveland Park area. It's 1930s, but it was renovated down to the stud. So it's beautiful. Open floor concept, masters down. The little back area has a carport, 2 carport. It's just in a great little location. So we're going to probably list it next weekend. And it's going to be in the 500s, lower 500s. All right? Thank you.
It's just hit me $9,000 a month. He's going to sell it for $600,000. That's a deal for somebody. Buy a lake house. Keep the investment property. I mean, I'm glad he's selling it. But. All right, Scott. There you go.
Mount Juliet, around 300,000, might be a little less, maybe a little more. Super conventional, typical family neighborhood house, you know, nothing special about it, but it's in great shape. They look, you know, I mean, it's not fully written, it's just a great house. So it's got a great basement that they finished out at the music guys, so there's like a studio kind of room down there, and big yards, well, everything you see there. Square footage is in the 4-digit range. That's a joke. No. It's about 1950 square foot, something like that. I'm a terrible comedian, but everybody keep practicing. Going live today, hopefully.
And Mike's a lonely place to be.
I know.
Robert.
I've got 83 Brookwood Terrace. It's off of White Ridge Road, about a mile from St. Thomas West and a half a mile from Tennessee Technology campus.
1,900 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, half-acre lot, flat yard, fenced-in backyard, covered patio. It's got floors, it's got ceilings. It'll be in the mid-4s, going live Friday evening, open house on Sunday.
Good work.
Thanks, Ron. I've got 3360 Wayside Place coming on. We're going live on Friday, open house with Kyle on Sunday. This one's actually a cool location. It's Hermitage, and it's close to the Music City Star, the airport, I-40 ramp. So anybody who's commuting, this is perfect. 1564 square feet, 3 beds, 2.5 bathrooms. Updated, cute little place. Well, nice little backyard with fire pit, and we're going to do 2 of that. All right, David Binkley.
All right, the time has come. On Friday, we will be releasing marketing, our contract, pricing for the 1865 building. You'll have a week to review that, and we will accept contracts the following Friday, which is the 22nd. So, do not come up to me and say, hey, yeah, send me the marketing on that date. I'll forget. Email me, david@urbanhousefitters.com, and I'll send that to you on Friday. And if you have any questions in the meantime, email's a good one too. And we'll be able to answer any questions once we get the marketing out too. So look forward to working with you.
Awesome. I think that's it.
Anybody else?
If you're looking for a reason to reach out to a prospect, that Airbnb thing, $9,000 for 600. I mean, $8,700 this month. That's awesome. I mean, a lot of times, you know, you just gotta have a reason to reach out to somebody and add value. And probably not a fit for what they're looking for, but they'll just appreciate hearing from you. And so that's a good idea. All right.
All right. Up next, we got Teddy Pims, repping builders and buyers, starting in 23 minutes, right here. So, here, what were your takeaways today? Boost. You say it in a late 90s shape voice, boost. Right? What else?
One other thing, Preston Taylor Ministries is another thing to take away, but if you have more time than money, that's also what they really need are mentors, volunteers. It takes a lot of that as well. So if giving money isn't in your thing and you want to give some time, you can look up there and they can plug you in right away. So I wanted to mention that. Anything else?
I'll say one thing. Congratulations to Rebecca for having her first contract. She's been working really hard.
Yay!
Good work. What's the address?
37207.
37207.
Yes, well done.
All right.
Well, thanks everybody for being here.
All right. All right, guys.